Good morning, good morning. Let's get to it. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm Utah LaVern. Yes, this is one street over. What you doing? One street over from where you living. We're living right because we get to live and work in Robertson County. I'm meeting a new friend this morning. Now, we normally have United Way coming in here at 7:30. Full disclosure, my baby granddaughter, the one that's 5, I have one that's due in March, baby Grace. I'm just so blessed. I got all these grandbabies, but Anderson's Christmas program is in Mount Juliet at 8:45. So Lee Marie is going to come in here and take over at 7:30 for me. And then I'm gonna get you, JC, to move this way so you're better on camera for me. But so I'm going to be heading out here at 7:30, and I called Brian and I said, "Hey, bud," I said, "I forgot that I've got to leave early if I want to get to that Christmas program." And so Brian went with his daughter to school, Brian Pulley from United Way. And so, we're all kind of getting in that season of Christmas. I'm celebrating with my family on Saturday. So I'm super excited about that, and it's just going to be boom, 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 boom all the way through. And so just bear with us. We'll have a lot of changes in the programming and things like that you're accustomed to as we make adjustments for the Christmas season. Lee Marie will be filling in for me quite a bit because I'm going to take some time off, of course, during Christmas while us teachers are off. I need to sleep in a morning or two. I got to be honest with you. I'm sleepy. So Lee Marie's going to fill in for me some, and we're still trying to kind of figure all that out. But she'll be in here at 7:30 today. And as we were trying to find a fun guest for this morning, she said, "I've got this guy. You've got to hear him. J.C. James." So tell me, how in the world did you welcome to the show? Your lovely wife is here. Thank y'all for joining us. Where are y'all from?
Originally from Jersey.
From Georgia?
Jersey.
Jersey. When did you come from Jersey?
Well, I went from there to PA, grew up there, wrestled through high school, and then went to Nebraska, and then left Nebraska and went to, met her, and we lived in Tulsa for a while, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And, but I started the music opening for Poison, Warrant, Cinderella. I was in a hair band. I was the front man for Colt 51, and then I quit, went into the Navy.
Okay.
And enjoyed that very well. And then I got out, quit music, started having the kids and with my ex-wife, and they, I decided to put more time into that, because God blessed me with some, kids. And she got me back into music when I met her. I quit writing a long time ago, and then I don't know, I just started, it was a blessing, I believe. Everybody keeps telling me that I've been blessed with the vocal and a gift of writing now. Mm-hmm. And I was in a 3-day coma 3 months ago. Yeah, it was an injury that the Navy hid that I didn't know about it.
Oh, wow.
And from 30 years ago. And they found it on right here. I got a bleed on my brain. And
you gonna be okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, God, hey, I'm putting it in God's hands.
Yeah.
That's all it's about. And then I prayed to him. I said, if you think I'm done, then I'm happy for what I, did with the music. Then all of a sudden, it's like words come out of nowhere and songs after song after song after song. And it just seems like everything I wrote since January everybody's telling me it's a hit song. Mm-hmm. And, there's only one way that could happen, and that's God.
Yeah.
He's the one who gave me the words, the talent to sing, but the way I talk, I surprise a lot of people because I'm a kind of a high baritone when I sing, mm-hmm. So my register drops, mm-hmm. And but when I talk, I have a high pitch, mm-hmm. So I've been kind of again, blessed again. When I get on stage and I perform live, people realize like, oh, that's not the same guy that's talking.
It's really kind of funny because I listened to your song, okay? When you walked in, I'm like, really? That comes out of him? Mm-hmm. Because as you started talking. And because I grew up in the Church of Christ tradition, a cappella music. the voice is your instrument
Yeah.
in a cappella music. And so I've grown up around it. And so usually, you can hear somebody talking, you're like, but as soon as you start talking, I'm like, that voice came out of him. That's really funny that you say that, because I thought the same thing, because Lee Marie sent me some of your music. And I feel like the song she sent me, Kneel Before the Cross, Stand for the Flag, is that the title? I may have it backwards.
That right there.
Because I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah,
That's been out a while, hasn't it?
yeah, I recorded that over a year ago.
Get back up on that mic for me.
I recorded that over a year ago,
Okay.
and there was two. I really believe that when I saw on TV people kneeling during the Pledge of Allegiance,
Right.
but they wouldn't. But they would stand to pray instead of kneeling to God.
Yeah.
And that bothered me.
Right.
And being a serviceman, that it just didn't hit the heart the way it should have.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was told to start writing my own stuff because I was recording everybody else's, and for a long time I was like, maybe I just don't have it again. Then the first song I got out of the coma was a week and a half later was wow, I just went blank.
Keep talking. I'm
sorry
trying
about
to
that.
see if there's a way for me to plug your music in. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, Heaven's Open Door, and that was the first song that come out, and then right after that was My Family, My Blood, My Jesus Too.
Okay.
But the stand for the flag, kneel in prayer, it needed to be said. I thought it was a message that needed to be heard,
Right.
and because America has lost a lot of respect for God. They forgot who's actually leading us. They literally turned away, but they want to sit there and burn the flag. They want to sit there and put America down when to me, and being retired Navy, it's just that every country has their problems, but don't give up on America, because we're free. We're a free country, and so I'm proud to be an American,
Mm-hmm.
and I will always stand for the flag. I will always kneel when I pray to God, and then bow to Jesus. That's what it's about, and that's what the song's about, and I was really proud of it after I wrote it.
It's beautiful. I mean, I wish there was some way I could play it, but I can't. I don't see how I can plug it in. When Lee Marie gets here at 7:30, I'll take that jump drive and see if I can't plug it in over there, and see if I can't help y'all put this in, because I'd love for everybody to hear it. It's beautiful. You got a great voice.
Thank you.
It's just really a top-notch song.
I've had a lot of lessons.
Have you?
Yes, since because I was a screamer back in the '80s.
So you were a rock screamer and hair bands and all.
But my faith came from my foster parents.
Mm.
I was in a foster home for 9 years,
Mm-hmm.
and
God bless you.
I was an abused kid.
God bless
growing
you.
up.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I was blessed being with them.
But yeah, of course, I understand what you're saying. But I work in the recovery community, and the stories I hear break my heart. Break my heart.
Well, I wrote a song, and my foster mom, Bev Hamilton, she says, son, she still calls me son, because I lost my real mom going on 3 years ago for brain cancer.
Mm.
And she goes, you always still have one mom left. And, I never doubt that. And but she treated us, and that's what, at that time, in the early 80s, God put me in a situation, took me out of a home, and put me into a situation to where I had a family that actually loved me like their own.
Right.
And I got into sports because of them. I learned how to fish. I learned how to hunt, all because of them. I don't do that no more, but I did back then because they taught me everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so she wrote me. She says, "Why don't you write your dear old mama song?" And that was the hardest thing I could ever do because I didn't know how to word it. I just could not figure out how to write the song about a foster mom.
Mm.
And then a month later, I was laying in bed and I looked over here. I said, "Give me my phone," because I have a notepad where I put everything in there. And I wrote that whole song within 10 minutes.
So the Lord downloaded it.
Yes,
For you.
and it was right there. And but it took a month to do it.
Right.
And it's called "God Gave Me a Foster Mom."
How sweet.
Yes, and
I know some beautiful foster mothers, and you talk about a calling. I mean, the people you hear these horror stories of foster families, and those are the people who shouldn't be doing it.
right.
You know, it's a calling, and if you feel that call, God bless you. I mean, what a big job, and what a needed job. I'd love to hear that. I haven't heard that.
Oh, it's on there, and
Okay.
but she well, it's on the website. And what was so blessing about them? I lost my foster dad a couple years ago to cancer, and his name was Lynn Hamilton. Very, like I said, the family took me in immediately. They tested me one time, and I don't. And a lot of people, I don't know if that's a good test, but to me it was. And to me, I didn't realize it. I'm 12 years old, going on 13 years old, and I weighed barely 60 pounds.
Oh my.
So I was malnourished. I was,
Bless your heart.
and that first night, I remember they gave me a big bowl of mac and cheese all to myself.
Uh-huh.
I never had that, at that time. But the next morning, and I didn't realize they did it. I mean, I seen it there, but they put $60 sitting right there on the table. $60. They left it, and they test all their foster kids this way.
Oh.
So they, Bev goes, no, I'm sorry, it was Lynn. You see that $60 there? I said, yes, sir. He says, why didn't you take it? I said, it ain't mine. Bev grabbed me and gave me the biggest hug ever because
Wow.
they had foster kids just grab the money and take it.
Right.
If it ain't, it wasn't mine. So why, it had nothing to do with me. So that right there, I gave them a lot of trust because, and then I knew that after that, even after that point, they taught me about life. They taught me that, that past abuse was not the life I'm going to be leading after that.
Mm-hmm.
And they taught me to be a parent that I am now if it wasn't for them,
Yeah.
She got me into church. I was never in the church. She got me into church. I went to Bible
Your
study.
foster mom.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bev did. And I went to vocational Bible school. That was a blast. I've never enjoyed any of that. And
Vacation Bible school.
yes, I
Oh, okay.
loved it. Sorry, I call it
Yeah.
something different from
Yeah.
because of Yankee. But when I wrote that song about her, everything about it was real because it came from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And like the second verse says, I wake up to cinnamon bread, her baking cinnamon bread, which she loved to cook. And so to this day, I thank God for the experience I went through.
Yeah.
Because before Bev, they put me in temporary homes,
Right.
and it maybe last a day, 2 days or whatever. But that's what I was expecting.
Right.
But the day that I went into the foster home, I had bruises up and down my leg and my back from baseball bat. My stepfather beat me with, and because I wouldn't eat his dinner.
It's horrifying.
And so they called me in there. I was scared, but my best friend at that time in middle school reported it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, and I got called to the office. And usually at that time, as a young kid, you're thinking,
You're thinking I'm in trouble. And
Yes,
somebody was trying
yes.
to help you. Yeah.
and but when I got there, I saw cops. I was
Mhm.
like, oh wow, I am definitely in trouble. But I
Oh,
didn't
bless
do
your
nothing.
heart. Yeah.
But when I got in there, they're like, we need you. CPS showed up, and Michael Schlesinger was his name, and he, the cops, they closed the thing. The principal sat there and said, we need you to, to take clothes off, and so we can look, take pictures of the bruises. I didn't know they were that bad.
Mm.
I just knew I hurt.
Yeah.
And right after that happened, they arrested my stepdad. They called Bev immediately. Said, "Hey, I got a foster kid here for you. It might be temporary." That's what they were told. And but it became 9 years.
Wow.
So
What a story. I mean, we brought you in here to play your music or to talk about your music and at least point people to it where they can hear it online. And what an amazing story. And this is what we do. I talk about Celebrate Recovery all the time because it's about testimony and the testimony of what you've done. I'll address that in a second. I got to do some ads
you're
because
fine.
since I've got to get out of here to go to my grandbaby girl's Christmas program, I got to get some ads in. But we're talking with J.C. James, and he's already blown us away with his story. So we're going to keep talking, and we'll just continue to share here in just a minute. But we want to pause and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, our longest running full-time sponsor. This is something that, I had Barry and Rebecca in here first of the week. And we were talking about that this is the time of year that a lot of people start reevaluating what they're doing professionally. And, this is a really good time to reflect. Okay, this past year, did I really like what I was doing? Maybe been thinking about real estate. Maybe you never thought about real estate until you heard us talking about, maybe going into this. Some of my kiddos in high school are starting to think about real estate because, man, it's a good gig, but it's a different kind of gig. And Barry will tell you, if you want to be a realtor, he might talk you out of it because it's not for everybody. But if it is for you, you can work with a company like Exit, with Exit Prime Realty, that will have everything you need to make sure that you have the best chance at being a success. Barry and Rebecca, huge success at this. They've been at this. I think Barry told me it's been about 5 years since he went full-time. No, it's been longer than that. But then Rebecca, she's been full-time for getting close to 20 years now that she's been at this. But they are just excellent to work with. They're so involved in the community. They are in Cross Plains they've been here 30 years. I don't know if you saw, they bought the police the police station there, one of their mini cars. They've got a mini Exit Prime Realty car. And so they bought the police one of these little mini cars, just kind of a fun little thing to tour around town, just to say thank you. They've been there for 30 years, and I thought, what a great thing. And they're so involved in the community. So they specialize. The Robertson County is like us, so they specialize in Robertson County properties, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Like me, they're originally from Kentucky. Great folks. If you want to reach out to them, you can always check them out at sellwithbecky.com, or by BUY@robertsoncounty.com. And that phone number, if you want to reach out to Rebecca, is 615. If I can get it to pop up here. If I try to do it off the top of my head, I never can get it done. But where'd it go? Oh man, Steve, you're distracting me, buddy. No, you're fine. No, you're fine. I'm teasing you, honey. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I was looking for Rebecca's phone number here, and it's not popping up all of a sudden. We'll go to sellwithbecky.com, or by BUY@robertsoncounty.com, and be sure and let them know that you turned sent you. And we're going to continue talking with J.C. James. There was a story that I heard from a minister one time, and I share this at Celebrate Recovery a lot. But it's like, if you there are some things that happen to you, right, that you have nothing to do with. He says, take it like this. Think about you're driving down the road and you're not doing anything wrong, and somebody T-bones you. They come through a light and they T-bone you. It's their fault. They've really, trashed your car, done whatever. He says, you have some choices to make. You can get out and rant and rave and just be mad. Look what they did, look what they did, look what they did. Or you can get back in the car and drive this wrecked car and, pretend that there's nothing wrong. Or you can be the person that's like, well, they hit me, so I'm going to hit you. Or you can go in to the body shop, being the body of Christ, and say, I need some repair. And what a beautiful way that your foster family, helped you through that repair. Because it could have been a very different story. Yeah, well, hang on. Let me put your mic back up. Go ahead.
There was something before you go. I wanted to let you know something. I wrote a song. Some lady at the studio came in. It was a friend of the producer. And she said, showed us some pictures because she was in an abusive relationship. And she showed us some pictures, and they were very graphic of the abuse. And she says, I need you to do me a favor and write a song for abused women.
Oh, wow.
And I did. And it's called She's Not the One to Beat. Mm. And so I'm using that song and the proceeds to go all 100% to stop abuse. And it's on there too, so you get to hear it if you go to the site. And it's actually Not the One to Beat. And so it's really...
Yeah, Not the One to Beat. Do you have your songs on an iPhone?
I have an iPhone.
Let me see because there's a Bluetooth thing here. Enable your Bluetooth and see if it recognizes this Tascam board here.
Okay.
Because because there's a Bluetooth feature. This is not my control board.
It's on Bluetooth.
So, but and I love Lee Marie's like he'll be performing at the. You can come in here and talk. You don't have to be covert. But he's going to be performing at the Well in the Square on Saturday after Christmas on December 27th from 6:30 to 8:30. How did you meet Lee Marie? Now I need to hear this story because I'm always curious as to how in the world she comes up with different folks.
They came to the show at because I'm part of the MCCF Music City Christian Fellowship.
Oh, okay.
And we did a concert there for the Christmas gala.
Okay.
And every year they do it there in December at the Troubadour.
Okay. Yes.
And
I'm quite familiar with the Troubadour.
But sometimes I perform there, my country act, of course. But
okay.
And I didn't even know they were out there until because I did a song that I wrote and which if I'm able to play it, I'll play it. And Steve, came up to me, and which by the time I got off the stage, it's called Heaven's Open Door. By the time I got off the stage, there was already almost 30 people walking up to me, between 20 and 30 people walking up to me and said, "Man, this is the best written song we've heard," and he did too, And I was like, that song I was blessed with right after the coma.
You're really good, man. I'm telling you, yeah.
But I do have a deep voice. I mean, they've actually heard me live. I do sing with the way I talk.
Like I said, when he came in and started talking, I'm like, I can't believe that voice came out of this guy.
Oh, because Debbie Bennett and of Grace Records and Pat Holt actually fine-tuned, because at the first time when I came back into music, I had that Yankee slang going on. And so they, in the way Pat would work with me, as soon as I started singing, which I sent it to Lee Marie. Remember the Elvis song called "You Gave Me a Mountain"? It's a gospel one. Yeah. Marty Robbins wrote it.
I'm sure I've heard it, but yeah.
Well, I redid it.
Okay.
I recut it. And
okay.
Did you like it?
Yes.
And you can hear the range. I have a very high range also. I can hit a second octave if I need to, but I can't sustain it because of my age now.
Yeah.
But so
that's why you were in a hair band.
Yeah, but I can get as low as Johnny Cash, but I can get as high.
So you've got just such a big span of a range.
But they noticed that
yeah.
I have to back off the mic when I sing because I'm a powerhouse. They said when my vocals.
Yeah.
So I had to back off, and they taught me to where my register actually is more comfortable for me, which is the high baritone.
Okay.
So I'm more of a high baritone, low tenor. And
interesting. You've got an interesting voice. You really do. I mean, that's really. And Lee Marie told me that. She says, "When did you hear this guy?"
That's what I said. Nobody would believe it until they hear me live, and that's the difference. I mean, you got to hear me live to recognize.
Well, your recordings are pretty impressive too.
And
but
I am on Bluetooth right now.
Okay.
If you need
do you see anything that says Tascam, anything like that?
Hold on.
Because it's got a Bluetooth symbol on here.
I use a Tascam 18 channel recorder for recording.
Yeah,
I record demos and then take it to the studio.
Well, do you see a Bluetooth on here that looks like it could be this board?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
If it is, you can send it in and maybe we can play it. Tascam. It's a Tascam mixcast, and but I don't know that the Bluetooth's been enabled on it, but it is there. So, but I will try. I'll swing around to the computer here once Lee Marie takes over.
Yeah, there's 3 songs on there. I have one of my favorite gospel ballads that I ever wrote. It's called "Calm the Storms," and it's about Jesus calming the storms of the world. And and I put that on there along with "Heaven's Open Door" and "My Family, My Blood, My Jesus" too. But I have a K52. Is that what that is?
I don't know. Why don't you send it and see what happens?
Yeah, why not? I'll connect.
See what happens there.
Hey, God will find a way, right?
There you go. We'll see what happens. Technology, guys. Live right here. So, do you see anything happening?
Nope.
Yeah.
But it just popped up, so K52.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all right. It'll show up.
We'll figure it out. Well, hey, put it this way. If we can't play your stuff today, tell them how to find you and listen to it all online.
Google JC James Band. And the reason why you had to put band on there because Google, without band, wants to mess my name up with Jesse James Decker. and I'm definitely not her. So,
J.C. James Band.
yeah, without the periods, you can just do J.C. James
You
Band.
can just do J.C. James Band.
Yes.
Okay. But its initials, what does J.C. stand for?
Jesse Cole James.
Jesse Cole James. Very good.
And
But,
some of the radio stations says, well, that's a long name. And can you make it shorter? So I abbreviated to
Jesse's
JC.
pretty special though, but Jesse's I can tell you some stories, but it has a significance for me. But anyway, like I said, I hate that I'm going to have to slide out, but I need to do another ad before I go. But I'll try to plug this in. I don't know because with this I'm a Mac person and this is not a Mac.
Oh, I'm going to say thank you to you.
Well, it was my pleasure.
No, not because of that. Teacher also.
Oh, thank you.
Teach, and it was the teachers that I had at West Green High School in Pennsylvania,
Cool.
and that molded who I am, and today, along with Bev. So I've been blessed, and I have a country legend singer in my family. It's actually in my family tree.
Who is it?
Webb Pierce.
Okay, that doesn't ring a bell.
He's bluegrass. He does
Okay. I'm sure my bluegrass people would know.
in the jailhouse now. That was his.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I know the tune.
That's
for
my
sure.
great uncle.
Really?
Yes. So
That's cool.
It skipped that many generations to me.
That's cool.
So we have a lot of pickers in our family, but
That's cool.
I mean, I play mandolin and drums, and so that's all I got from them.
That's
And,
cool.
So
That's cool. In the jailhouse now. That's your uncle. That's cool. That's cool. I'm quiet for me. I mean, they sing that. I host the Bluegrass Festival every year up at Kilgore Park in local, and I think that song gets sung every year by some band.
yes.
I
yes.
mean, somebody's going to cover that song. But very cool. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad to meet you. It's been an absolute pleasure. But I like your music. She sent me some of it yesterday, and I listened to it. And I'm like, oh, it's great. But I look forward to. I'll come hear you live sometime for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I did I think Lima, she told me about it. You do what you do as a teacher. You're into the music. Like
audio video
yeah,
production
but,
teacher.
but you've seen some really talented young kids, haven't you?
Oh my gosh. We put together a talent show and it was phenomenal. What happened is we have, I love telling this story because these kids just impressed the heck out of me. But I asked my kids at the first of the year to tell me a little something about them. And one of the questions on there, do you have something you do that people don't know? Something you do? I forget exactly how I word it, but I want to know hidden talents. And they'll say, I play a little guitar. Well, I keep a guitar in my studio,
Right.
my where we do the news. And I was like, play me something. And I've had 2 or 3 pick it up and I went, oh, crazy.
Wow.
And so I told her we wanted to do a talent show. And I have one kid that's graduating, Aiden Raymer, and phenomenal guitar player. And I said, I want you to kind of do the opening act and let's put some guys with you. Well, we found these other guitar players too. And Luke Dameron, we got Lex Gonzalez. And I mean, these guys, unbelievable what they can do. They opened the show with LaGrange.
Oh, wow.
And rocked the house. And then we found this kid that's a drummer, Brendan Prosh, that blew our minds. And they closed the show with a Nirvana song, okay? And Jasper Wilson, I got to mention him. Oh, man, there's just so many of them. Jasper's last name is escaping me right now. I only had him just this year. But there's just so many of these kids that are just phenomenal guitar. And then we had a couple of teachers join in with them, But it's just, the relationships that came out of that, they started friendships and they're now writing music together. And there was a love that came. The little girl and little boy got together. They started dating. So I've had so much fun watching these relationships. They didn't even know each other.
Oh, man.
And it's just, and there's just what's birthed out of this. And we're going to do another talent show in the spring. So we're going to do a fall
nice.
and a spring talent show. But yeah, it's just so much fun. But
asked-
we do news and all that kind of stuff. But I love music. And man, when a kid's got that kind of talent, you got to give them a place to show off.
I've been asked many times to come and do like a career thing at schools. That's a blessing because they're like, is it hard to do the music industry? And I tell them the truth. Yeah, actually it is. It's a dog eat dog world, and that's really what it is. And there's a scammer around every corner. So
you got to be careful. You got to protect yourself. But it's so cool, and I do have to wrap it up.
Yeah, you're fine.
And I got to talk about my friends over at Bernard Farms Custom Cuts and Market. Here's what's happening. This Saturday, you got Pancakes with Santa. Pancakes with Santa. This is your chance to come out and enjoy all the wonderful things of everything that they have with Bernard Farms Custom Cuts and Market, and also get a visit with Santa Claus. It's from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. Get out there and check it out. And I mean, they have really gone all out to make sure that you have exactly the cut you want when it comes to what kind of dinner you want to have for your Christmas dinner. I mean, beautiful filet cuts that she's showing off right here. They've got the meat case just stacked full of beautiful beef cuts. Of course, all the smoked sausage and all that things, and the bacon, all the things that they want so much for you to have. You got to have them for your Christmas table. Great gifts. They've even got these cool little things. It's like a reindeer bait that you can put out for the kiddos. They got TNT popcorn. The boys, raise some popcorn. All kinds of fun things where you can put together a great gift basket. Popcorn. They stock up on those things that would make a great gift basket. A very cool Tennessee gift basket, and you can go by there and see them. Now they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 4. So get by there, maybe grab breakfast with them right now, grab lunch. Those pork burgers, awesome. But you can go by and grab lunch with them, or just stop by and see them, of course, on Saturday for Pancakes with Santa. Saturday the 20th, 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. at Bernard Farms Custom Cuts and Market. My dear friends, they're at 7536 Clay Gregory Road in Orlinda. 7 to 4 today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Get by there and see them, and be sure and let them know that U-Turn sent you. Okay, I'm going to let Lee Marie come in here and take the helm, and I'm going to see if I can't help you pull up this music. I don't see access to it, but I'll give it a shot real quick.
All right, Jesse,
All right, come on.
Jesse.
We're going to make the switch here. Go for it. Okay. We got live air going right now. Let's do something.
Okay.
Get on there. Live radio, y'all. Live radio.
All right, as we make the switch over, I just want to remind you that today is a wonderful day to go to Travis Price Park. The lights are going, and they are beautiful. And don't forget, this coming Saturday, they're doing the free carriage rides. So that is the 20th of December. They are going to be doing the free carriage rides at Travis Price Park. Get on over there. I know that it's first come, first serve, so you'll have to line up. But great free thing to do. So we've been talking to Jesse Cole James, also known as the JC Band. And you guys have got to hear the songs. I don't know if we're going to be able to play them live, but we will try. If not, you just need to go online and listen to them. Also, what's super cool is that he is going to be playing at the Well in the Square. So, the big ballroom that we just had our Christmas ball at, as well as our sock hops. We are going to be there on Saturday, December 27th. It's from 6:30 to 8:30. And you can come in. The admission's only going to be $5. And we hope that you will come in and just hear this very talented guy. So, all right, we're going to finish the interview because we have the full hour, so that's so exciting. And I was able to listen to the full interview so far on the way here. So, going to bring them in and continue the interview because I know that you guys were talking mostly about your background. Let me get your mics on there. There we go. Your mic's good now. So you're mostly talking about, your childhood and all that, which was fascinating, and I did not ever know that part. So, I mean, what a testimony, like she said.
Thank you.
But I'm going to turn the the camera on over to you, Stephen. Oops. Stay there. Where are you going? Okay, there we go.
I was telling my wife Becky. I said, my voice is starting to get deeper today, right now. So that's what happens.
Yeah.
See the deepness starting to come in.
Yeah.
So
you sound great.
So I'm going to put the camera right now on the two of you because I know Stephen had some creativity questions and different things like that.
I could always play the music through the mic.
And you could. Do you want to try that for starters?
Yeah,
It's possible that-
let's do that.
One of the things that happens when we play music here is that because we're going live on YouTube and Facebook, after about 15 seconds cuts it off. They just halt the sound. They cut the sound on the feed, and then we lose the feed on the Facebook.
Right.
They do it instantly, and they do it even if you already own the music and you've already paid to play music. They still do it to you, and then you have to actually file paperwork, and they say, "Oh, sorry, we were wrong," but by then your show is already cut.
Right.
So, but then they'll do it again, and they'll make you file the paperwork again. So you can never ever play anything on Facebook or YouTube for some reason. It's the way it works. They just cut the music on
And
you.
it's probably just, our
I've
channel.
as soon as they find out, like there's some kind of thing with BMI or whatever that it just makes a little warning flag pops up, and the AI does it automatically, I think, and says, "This is BMI music. You cannot play this music."
Yeah, because I'm registered with BMI, and where the- I've learned from the business back in, when I first started, because back then everybody owned your music because, the record labels, they owned it, whoever, but now I'm being taught by people saying, hey, you can own 100% of your publishing, you can own 100% of the writing, and I've done that. So I've skipped the middleman,
Yeah.
and um, but
But you could probably play a little snippet right now.
We were talking about how amazing your voice is,
Thank you.
and what a great the songs that you wrote. You wrote so many songs in a short period of time, and they're great songs. They're all great songs, and it's one of those things that now I know that we have these. We're talking about creativity. We have these creative, these blooming, this bloom, flowering of creativity
Right.
sometimes in our lives, and we have it every now and then. And so a lot of times it happens after an accident or a tragedy or something that happens to us. I know John went through something like that, John Baumgartner, and he put 3 albums out immediately when he got out of the hospital, and he recovered. He was able to put out a whole bunch of material. He got real creative, and he got better than he ever was afterwards. It's like, yeah, I'm a better musician now than I've ever been before after
His
the
was a
accident.
stroke as well.
And it's the same thing with your situation. And I know, and you think about it all through history, the history of musicians, you see, and I think about Django Reinhardt, who,
Right.
when he was only just a child, he was in that horrible fire and lost two and a half of his fingers, still became one of the fanciest guitar players
Yes.
out there, right? And created a lot of the gypsy jazz he did was just amazing stuff. And you think about that, and you say, it's about God. God, the Spirit of God, is just that pervades our creativity, comes into us, and just we flourish under it. And God is creativity, and I think and we talked about our creativity is an offering back to God again. When we create something like this, we're offering it back to God. And it's every poem that's ever been written, every song that's ever been written, whether we like it or not. We're worshiping the Creator.
And those are also gifts. He gives us gifts we're to give our gifts back out to other people.
We,
as
we
well.
can't help but do it. That's what we're made to do.
I like
That's
when
what we do,
Mark Thomas, we had him on yesterday, and I like what he said. He said, well, in the Bible, what's it say in the very beginning? God created, he's created. So, anyway.
And these songs, we've been listening to your music all night.
Thank you.
And it is so good. And we want to share it. We're so looking forward to the show at the Well. It's going to be great. We're going to have everybody out there. And if you have not heard, if you're listening right now and you have not heard J.C. James and any of his music, I tell you right now, you need to get online right now. Get online right now and go to.
What's the best way for
where
them
can
to
Actually,
listen to you?
if they
You've got
go-
a sample on there right now, don't you?
Yeah, I want to do the one that I did at the show this past MCCF,
okay.
because I actually sang at that church that I go, because I go to church with Mark, and he's our choir director too, and he's amazing, and he's another one that actually helped fine tune my pronunciations of my words, because the way that sometimes the slang would kick in, and that Yankee would just Yankee accent, and so it was his teachings also on how to and being a part of that choir is amazing, and that's a blessing right there. There alone, being around all that talent, all the everybody in the choir are amazing gospel singers in their own right, and I've met so many people from MCCF, and they've been a like a what do you say, like a
like a support system.
They are very supportive, because they're always asking how I'm feeling. They're always asking because they know what I've been through. And since last August, I've had 3 mini strokes. So that's why they thought the last one, And but the prayer chain that goes out there so fast,
Yeah.
through them, it's just overwhelming, you know. But I know that that supportive team is there for me and always will be. But so I sang the song. It was a new pastor that came in and called and at First Baptist there in near
Madison?
in Madison, and Becky and I want to call that our home because we've been looking for over a year for a church home, and that's our church home. And we've tried other churches. It's just when you go to a church, you're like, all right, is this my home? Is it my home? And then you're like, God, find me a church home. And then all of a sudden, boom! And the first day we were there, they welcomed us in like we were already part of the family. That's the kind of church I like to be a part of.
That's
And I grew up as I don't like change. I like to stay with one thing all the time. That's just me, So I don't like to change studios. I don't like to change the stores I shop at. It's just me, or restaurants I eat at. I won't. It's just the way
Well,
I
the
grow up.
first question I asked you the other day was what kind of microphone and preamp system do you
Yeah,
like to use? Because your
Sennheiser.
voice sounds amazing on these recordings.
Sennheiser.
And yeah, of course, because it's like, hey, well, they would fly Frank Sinatra's microphone to wherever he was going to be, because he would only sing out of that one microphone his entire career.
I bring my own mic with me at every show, even if they supply the equipment. No, they change out the mic immediately. I will not sing without that Sennheiser.
It's amazing, but that is part of the signature that you leave your audience, and the audience is always wowed. I was blown away when you got up there, and I thought, wow, I thought this guy should have been the headliner, but they're putting him in, about midway through the show, and I thought, then I realized, oh, it's just must just be a random selection because some of the better people are coming up earlier, and all this and that and the other. So, it was great. The organic experience, like I was saying, that naked field, people are just out there in front of the crowd, a very intimate setting at the Troubadour there. It's a very intimate setting, and some people just had a guitar in front of them, and they may not sing every note in perfect key, and that's what I want. I don't want auto tune. I don't want to hear a robot. I don't want to hear AI. I mean, you can get in an elevator if you want to hear a computer play music for you, right?
Yeah.
So I want to hear the organic, real spirit of the person singing singing their heart out, and doing it with such grace and such talent. And you pulled that off beautifully, of course, with your song. And I immediately recognized that you were one of the super talents
Oh,
of the
thanks.
show that day. So I had to come up to you afterwards and say, hey, that was a great song. I really appreciate that. It was great. And I didn't know you before this. We were there at the MC last year, Music City, and
I did. You gave me a mountain that day, that night.
maybe, yeah.
I did the Elvis one, and
Yes,
so
exactly.
and
Yeah.
that was a lot of people because the guy that does the Elvis, you know,
I tell, yeah.
and I could tell when I sang that song, everybody stopped and looked at me like, "Whoa, he's doing Elvis!" And looking, I hit that,
Yeah.
I hit that higher part, and then, but I come back with my own, and I was nervous because this past weekend, because of the show, I was nervous because it was Christmas. Everybody was doing Christmas stuff, and I did my own original, so I didn't know how they were going to take it.
Exactly.
And but to get the reply and the response that I got, I knew I did the right choice. And
Oh, that was so good. And like I said, you were highlighted. You one of the special ones, and several people did original songs, and I can tell when they did an original song, like I'm not doing a standard here, and so are people going to accept this song? Because people want to hear Christmas songs at Christmas time, and this is not what they're used to listening to, right? This is a new song, and so can a new Christmas song entertain people and give them? Yes. In fact, the songs I found were the best. And even though Scott Peacock did Mary Did You Know,
Yep.
of course they drew straws to see who was going to get that song.
Yes.
Right? It was probably, even though he did that one, the ones, and I love Scott, and he did a great job on that. He's got a great
He
voice.
did.
He had a #1 hit last year on the gospel charts. But even though he did Mary Did You Know, I really enjoyed the original songs, I think, a little bit more because the original songs, and I'm just like that. I like to hear new stuff all the time, but I specifically enjoyed yours because it was done so well. It's such a good song. It's well written. You can hear songs that are well written, and then songs that are just it's good enough for the radio, but it's not one that's going to maybe last a test of time. But that's a song that'll last the test of time, and people will be able to hear that song if you come out to the show the Saturday after Christmas. Come out to the Well in the Square. He will do that song for you. It's a great song. I know you will.
I will.
So
It's
do you want
great.
to try to play
Yeah.
it right
We are
now?
gonna we're holding off on that towards closer to the end
Oh, okay.
because if they cut us off, at least it'll be at the end of the show and not
Okay.
halfway.
Oh, they won't
through,
cut you off.
Hopefully they won't, but we will get
Because
to
I wanted to give a sample of like stand for the flag. I wanted to give a sample for
Okay,
that.
well, if we
Oh,
do
yeah.
little clips,
So-
I want to
Yeah.
remind people that we are talking to Jesse Cole James, right? And then when he said Jesse James, and I said, "Oh, it's Jesse
Yes.
James, right?" And I'm thinking, Jesse James, I know that name. Yeah, he's from back in the day. I know that name because you were a rock and roll star, and so I remembered who you were. But I hadn't been to any of your shows, but I knew I didn't go to a lot of
Right.
shows back in the day. I stayed home. I listened to my records, and my friends would go to all the shows, right? They'd go to Poison. They'd go
Yeah.
see all the Rat. They'd go see everybody, right? And every now and then I would get out to see a show, but only if I already had knew the musician from earlier, like I knew Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. And I
Oh
would
man,
see that.
yes.
I knew
All right,
him
let's hear
way
some
back in the day.
snippets.
But anyway, we're gonna get Jesse Cole James. Now, if you have not heard Jesse Cole James sing, you are going to be blown away. We're going to try to do a sample right now, folks. But remember, you can come out and see him live the Saturday after Christmas. But we're going to try to do one. We're just going to put this. Not going to sound perfect because we're going through a microphone
Right.
here.
Oh, right now.
We're not really running through the system. We're just giving you a sample, folks, because he hasn't been loaded up yet. This was an impromptu interview.
Yeah, I'll
because we're
play.
just getting him out
What I'll
there.
do, I'll play the first verse and the chorus. That way, it
Okay.
gives them an idea.
Absolutely. We can get away with that, I think. Stay tuned here. We're going to boot that.
The old church bell rings at the break of dawn. Echoes through the hills, calling everyone. Dusty boots on gravel, voices in the air. Gathered in His glory, kneeling down in prayer. Swing wide the gates, let the faithful in. Washed by the blood, forgiven of their sin. The choir of angels sings forevermore, guiding us home to heaven's open door.
Awesome.
Then that was the first song out of my coma that actually came to my thing. But the first thing I said, and this was what really got me, and because the nurses and everybody told me that Becky stayed by my side the whole time and everything while I was in the coma. And I looked at her. The first thing I said to her, and baby, do I still turn you on? And I wrote a song and it actually is so beautiful ballad. And but then right after Heaven's Open Door, I needed something because family is everything. Blood, and it don't matter if you got bad apples or not. Everybody has that, but family is everything to me. And even my real family or my foster family, they all molded me. They're in my blood one way or another. So I asked God. I said, can you please give me a song to write for my family and about you? And it's called "My Family, My Blood, My Jesus Too." And I never thought that I would ever be a full, I would be able to write gospel at all. I never knew it. And, but I'm more outlaw gospel than I am, anything, because I have that country feel. I have to feel country. I just, don't get me wrong. I love the old hymns. I really do. My favorite hymns are all Christmas hymns. That's my favorite time of year to sing the gospel is Christmas. And, but when this started coming out because I was going to tell her earlier during the interview, what got me into country was Conway Twitty. I heard him for the first time. Only Make Believe popped on the radio. And I was nothing but a rock person the whole time. And when I heard that, I was like, I want to be that. And when I, got out of the service, and then when I met Becky several years later, 2000, end of 2006, beginning 2007. We went because she's not a fancy girl, you know. She don't like those fancy restaurants, you know. Take me to McDonald's. That's her. All right. So, I said first date. I said, where do you want to go? She goes, I go, you want to go somewhere fancy restaurant? Nope. I said, okay. You want to go to a somewhere, you know? How about live music? She goes, no concert. So you got anything else? I said, well, there's karaoke at the Moose Lodge, and I was secretary. So she said, yeah, let's do that. I was like, wow, okay, this girl don't like nothing fancy. Let's go to Moose Lodge. So we went to the Moose Lodge, and that was our first date. And they were doing karaoke, and I got there and sang. And I didn't do much singing at all ever since I quit, you know, doing the rock stuff. And I did Rascal Flatts, I'm Moving On. I got off there, and she looked at me, and she says, you can sing? And I told her when I got up there, she goes, oh, you're going to sing? I said, yeah, I'm just doing it for fun. She goes, can you sing? I go, nope, I can't sing. And that right there, she says, and I told her about it, and she goes, why'd you quit? And I told her. And she goes, no, you need to get back into it. And it was her. She got me back into it. And that's when I met, you know, it was, the blessings were how it happened. I met Debbie and Junior at it was a concert they did for a lot of artists, local, and so I was one of them. Back then, I was like 100 pounds more, you know, so I've lost a lot of weight since then. And but he or she, you know, met her. She brought me on as one of her artists, and so she got me, you know, attached to MCCF, got me attached to Pat Holt, and um, it was just and like I said, it's been a very blessing road, you know, since I got back into music, and I like this journey better than I did back then because I was stupid. I spent a lot of money that I didn't need to. You know, I was young. Now it's not because of the money; it's because I enjoy it. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're creating the best possible music that you've ever created right
Right.
now because you're so free to do that. You love what you're doing and you're inspired. And those three, that combination is just amazing. You're putting out some great stuff out there. Now, and we're like, remind people right now, we're talking to Jesse Cole James, a JC band, and he has put out some great music. If you want to download, some folks can download some songs.
Yeah, they can
right
go to
now, right?
Reverb Nation and get it, and they can actually download it from there if they like a song. And I believe it's like $1.09 to purchase it, which ain't bad for a single.
Yeah.
And but I like to, like I said, these two here. I like to. I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you guys know any people who have been through abused relationships, and I. It's really dear to me because I put a lot of heart into that. I watched my real mom get beat,
Mm.
so and I knew there was something. You know, I could write it, and I knew it'd be simple to do, and the words will come to me. So many years I watched that happen, and you know, like from 2 years old up until I was 7, I knew. You know, I saw this happen firsthand, and not the one to beat. That you know, so
Mm.
that's a really touching, very powerful message, and a lot of people are scared to write songs that has a message.
Do you have another one queued
Yes,
up there that
actually,
you'd like to do?
there's actually two I wanted to do real quick. This one's called "My Family, My Blood." It's just a simple.
Roots run deep like rivers wide. My family stands, my heart's guide through storms, through fire. They stay beside. My family, my blood, my Jesus too. They hold me close, they pull me through.
awesome.
The ending of that, is called. It goes. Which I like about it, and you're sitting in it at the end of the song. It goes, and Jesus whispers,
Mm.
"You're mine," and then I come back and I actually built it up. So that right there was a lot of heart, and I really put a lot of heart into that one because that's how I feel about my family. But we wouldn't be saved either without Jesus' blood. So, but the last one, because I know it's cutting short, but it's the stand for the flag,
Mm.
and I know you all heard
Oh, yeah,
that.
the stand for the flag thing. Yeah.
And like I said, I'm a patriot, and so I am definitely to support America in all ways that I can, and um,
And we also want to thank you for your service.
This is a
Because he did serve in the Navy, and we also
Yeah.
want to thank you for our freedom.
well, thank you for our freedom for sure. It's always great to have a veteran who has served his country and coming back to talk about it, sing about it, and you love the Lord, you love your country, and it's about that inspiration that we have, and I think we inspire others to live their life to the fullest as
Yeah.
well, right? And I think that's what the music.
it's
really
the ones
does.
before us that served that I
Yes.
give my hat, take my hat off
Absolutely.
because the ones that fought in Vietnam, the one that fought in Korea War, those are the
Yeah.
ones that need to be thanked.
Yeah, standing on the shoulders of
Yep.
giants. That's how we can see. That's
All
how
right,
we
so
can
we're going
see.
to play another
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Okay.
It's called "Stand for the Flag, Kneel for Prayer," and then bow to Jesus. I love the music in this.
The sun paints gold on the open plains, where freedom whispers through the grain. A quiet hymn in the morning air. I stand tall because I care. Stand for the flag in the light of day. Kneel in prayer when words can't stay. Bow to our Lord in the stars above. Faith and country bound by love.
You see what I mean about that one? That right there, and all three of those have a message. And because, like I was telling her earlier, you see in sports, which is, they're paid millions of dollars. And, you know, but they take granted of what America has done. And they forget about who gave them that talent to make all that money. And, so that's just the way. And I know there's a lot of people out there like myself that believe you don't kneel to the flag, you stand.
Mhm.
And then to Old Glory, you kneel in prayer and you bow to your Lord. That's the way it should be,
Mhm.
and always. And but you know that's what I like about First Baptist because they have so much love for God, and the children of God, and so that's why I like that church.
Mhm. All right. So the best way, if somebody wants to,
We should remind people we're listening to Jesse Cole James JC Band, and
JC James
they
Band, right? JC.
JC James Band, and they are going to be performing. He will be there at the Well the Saturday night after Christmas. All right,
6:30.
Saturday night 6:30 at the Well in the Square in Springfield, Tennessee. And if you live anywhere in the Nashville area, you want to come up. If you live in Madison, if you live anywhere down there, come on
If you
out.
live anywhere in the South, you
Anywhere in
should
the
come.
mid South, come on down. Clarksville, wherever you are, wherever your friends are,
be
come out
great.
to
The
see.
new line dance, remember?
You
Oh,
are an
that's right.
opportunity.
Should I give a little sample of that?
Right, this is an opportunity.
You-
We
that
we already
song,
have
right?
choreography.
Okay, yeah, he's got another
yeah.
song that we're going to be teaching a line dance to.
We already have
Before my show.
choreography to this show. Yeah, so y'all
gonna
line
let him-
dancers, come on out because we'll teach you how to dance to this song. He's about to, And now we've got a couple selections. You come out. Now these are
Yeah.
beautiful songs.
gonna be
We're out of time, so
yeah.
let's hear a little bit of
All right,
this
let's-
song
one
that we're
more-
going to be learning
yeah,
a
one
line
more,
dance
folks.
to.
This is called Hit the Floor.
Hey, hey. Stomp your boots, tap the ground, spin around, don't slow down. Clap your hands, feel the beat, light it up, move your feet. Boots on the floor, let's go, let's go. Kick it high, then drop it low. Spin to the left, spin to the right. We're dancing till the morning light.
What a great song. I'm so excited now.
And I think you
27th.
guys are going to charge at the door, correct?
Yeah, we're only going to charge $5. So, we will have to cap it off at some point. So
Yep.
we'll just have to play it by ear
Yep.
because it's the first time he's played there. So can't let everybody in. So make sure you get
I'll be doing covers also.
yeah,
Instead
so
of
do
just
some
original.
covers as well. So we're going to have a great time on December 27th. Again, that's a Saturday after Christmas. We're going to do some line dancing and hear some amazing music by such an amazing, talented
Thank you.
guy. And thank you so much for coming on. It's a total God
All
thing.
thanks to God.
Amen. Amen. I love when God orchestrates stuff like this. It's
Well, I
just
got to meet you all. So, I mean, you guys were there to see.
exactly the whole thing, the way that it's all playing out. It's just got God's stamp all over
And
it.
we need to thank also, and to MCCF because,
Yes.
they got so much talent.
Right.
And you guys have that stage for their talent to show up. Mark is, blown away with talent.
Yes.
We all know this.
Yes.
He's our choir director. He's, he's a man of many talents.
Mhm.
A phenomenal piano player.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Wow.
So you guys are going to be hearing more of him as well because we had him on the show yesterday and we took him for a tour in Springfield, including looking at the new theater, well, the old new theater that's right down on Main Street. So that was great. Anyways, we are out of time. This is Lee Marie filling in for U-Turn LaVern. If you missed any part of this show, I highly recommend that you go ahead and watch it all. Again, it's on Facebook and YouTube. The Facebook link does expire in 30 days. So if you're going to share it, I recommend sharing the YouTube link. Also, WSGI has a phone app so you can hear and listen from all around the world. So make sure that you guys keep on playing 1100 on your radio dial and sharing the information here. Oh, we
Yeah.
have one more thing? Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
one more thing to say. When you guys are listening to the reverb, pick all music. You have to go down the list and say all music, but scroll down. There's a song on there called "God Bless All the Little Children of the World" that I wrote and recorded. They will love it because the children right now is our future.
So go to Reverb, select
Nation.
all music.
All music, yeah, because you'll
Reverb
pop on my
Nation.
profile.
Select all music.
Go
on your
down. I think it's
profile.
like 1, 2, like 6 songs down. Hit all music. Then all my songs that I wrote and recorded are on
So
there.
that's after they already picked JC James Band.
Yeah, just Google it. Yeah, if that's the first site that pops up is Reverb. So
Okay.
that'd be the first thing.
All right,
Great.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that all of you will join us at Well in the Square on Saturday, December 27th, 6:30 p.m. Only $5 because it's the first time he's played there, and so we're doing this special thing. We're going to have a line dance lesson. We're just going to have a great time. So thank you, Becky, for also coming in and being support off stage. All right, guys, you've been listening to 1100 WSGI. Make it a great day, and God bless.
Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. We are AM 1100 WSGI Springfield, God's Informer.
Hi, we're the